10 ugliest towns in England. It might sound inconceivable that any town in England, the home of the Queen, can be as ugly as towns in developing parts of the world. In architecture, England is filled with unique public spaces within the country that make the town centres quite appealing and serve to promote ecosystems. Besides, parks and green open spaces are in abundance in this land to glorify the works of art. Yet the architectural rejuvenation programmes cropping up each year show that many towns in England are not doing too well in maintaining the structural remnants of the region's architectural heritage. Those towns are ugly, to say the least. Here is a list of the ugliest towns in England. 10. Bracknell. As one of those on our list of ugliest towns in the UK, we have to begin this one also with Bracknell, a town in Berkshire, which is also a civil parish and a large town. This administrative centre of the Borough of Bracknell Forest is not keeping pace with the drive towards having beautiful town centres in the entire old British Empire. It surely deserves a place here. The condition in Bracknell in recent times has become bad, such that a survey ranked it as one of the ugliest town centres in the UK. The survey isn't baseless, as it finds proof in homes that were haphazardly built there. The roads and city centre are not convenient to navigate. 9. Blackburn. Somewhat uglier than Bracknell is Blackburn, a large industrial town in Lancashire. The town, located 13 kilometres east of Preston and 34 kilometres north-northwest of Manchester, seems to be deliberately left out in the country's architectural schemes, as it is lacking in all of these. A comparison of statistics for this administrative centre paints a very grim picture. The most saddening of this is that it was one of the most deprived areas of England. Lovers and sympathisers of Blackburn have decried the ghettoisation of the town centre, which is terribly ugly and for some decades has been sleepwalking and drifting. Some residents say they are just slumming it in the town for the sake of lack of a better place. 8. Chatham. Chatham, a town within the Medway Unitary Authority that is in the ceremonial county of Kent, is another one of the ugliest towns in England. This town, which developed around Chatham Dockyard, has reasons to be beautiful if the potential is harnessed, especially with several army barracks that provided a defensive shield for the dockyard. However, this and the Corps of Royal Engineers, still based in the town at Chatham at Brompton Barracks, appear to be preventing it from reaching its potential in architectural designs. Thus, this town has once been named the most slobbish town in all of Britain. Because of the poor array of homes in the town centre, the majority of the residents in the town aren't happy. 7. Maidenhead. Maidenhead also qualifies itself as one of the ugliest towns in England. It's a market town located in the Royal Borough of Windsor and Maidenhead situated in the county of Berkshire. Sharing its borders also with Buckinghamshire, the town of Maidenhead is on the southwestern bank of the Thames River. Due to no fault of its own, this lacks any architectural delight. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any hope in sight. The crime-ridden town with incessant occurrences of stabbings and assaults isn't likely to benefit from any beautification programme as long as it remains a war zone at night, as people describe it. Its previous brief moment of affluence has been obliterated by poverty that renders most of the homes uninhabitable, since residents are no longer able to maintain the structures. 6. Royal Leamington Spa. Now let's look at this paradoxical one on the list of the ugliest towns in England. It is Royal Leamington Spa, also known as Leamington Spa. Also simply called Leamington by many people, it's a spa town, as the name sounds, and civil parish in Warwickshire. Originally, it was a small village called Leamington Priors. It later grew into a spa town some 300 years ago, when its water started gaining popularity and reputation for having medicinal qualities. But that's all there is to this old town in terms of beauty and architecture. Its schools have no structural excellence as centres of learning. The suburbs of the town are the most wrenched hive. In this spa town, you hardly enjoy anything close to spa services. 5. Gateshead. Gateshead, a large town that is also the administrative centre of the Metropolitan Borough of Gateshead, is next on our list of the ugliest towns in England. Located in Tyne and Wear, it's on the southern bank of the River Tyne, which is opposite Newcastle upon Tyne. Well, this town is supposedly known for its architecture, such as the Sage and the Angel of the North, and even the poor one, the Baltic Centre for Contemporary Art. However, these are poorly designed and positioned. Thus, the argument about how ugly or otherwise the town is will continue for a while. What we can tell you is that Gateshead qualifies as one of the towns with one of the worst centres in the whole of Britain. Unfortunately, the town council appears to be bereft of ideas to make their town architecturally pleasing. 4. Camberley. Camberley in the Borough of Surrey Heath in Surrey is also one of the ugliest towns in England. This town, situated some 50 kilometres southwest of central London, is in the far west of its county. Camberley is close to the borders of Hampshire and Berkshire. It used to be part of Windsor Forest before growing up around the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst with the associated Army Staff College. Anyone interested in beauty when looking for a small town to live in should steer clear of the place originally known as Cambridge Town. The residents and authorities of this town don't just care about the design and beauty in their town. No one cares about its lack of traffic lights and street lights. Most of the signposts are scratched and aren't befitting of a modern town. 3. Luton. It's hard not to add Luton to lists like this to what we know about this unattractive town. The college in the town has nothing more to offer than diplomas. The students don't feel like those studying in a great real citadel of learning, as the campus buildings themselves are devoid of those theatres and great auditoriums that are seen in colleges in beautiful towns. The town isn't promising to be developing architecturally, as the centre is as ugly as dominated by grey concrete buildings. Its drab shopping centres are reminiscent of 5 decades ago. With the numerous multi-storey car parks and unsightly tower blocks, Luton appears to be in a permanent state of drudge and dreariness. 2. Slough. The case in Slough is even worse than that of the infamous Luton. It's only that Luton features more frequently than Slough on negative lists. However, if you want to explain to someone what a neglected satellite town looks like, just take him to Slough and do nothing else. The town that has to be described as a place where friendly bombs had fallen and is not fit for human habitation is not attractive, according to a reviewer. He added that what was called a town was a mess. Up till now, the generic office blocks are still dominating the town's skyline. 1. Hemel Hempstead. Hemel Hempstead in Hertfordshire, which is the ugliest town in the UK, is also expectedly the ugliest town in England. This south-central town, which had been a settlement since the 8th century, doesn't clearly reflect any semblance of an architectural past. The only outstanding structure in the town is the Norman church. The shopping outlets aren't a place you would want to buy from, judging from their appearance. Even though it underwent a major rejuvenation shortly after the Second World War until decades later in the 1980s, this has done nothing to take the town out of many lists of crap towns in England, alongside Luton and Slough. Please, what is your take about these 10 ugliest towns in the UK? We would like to learn from your thoughts. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment and turn on the notification bell. This is Learning Canteen.